Hi, I'm Jamie. This is Dead Dodge Garage, and it's story time. When my wife and I got married, it was entirely unplanned. We were headed out of town for a weekend camping trip, and she said, "Why don't we just go to Reno and get married?" Which I immediately agreed with. A decision had to be made about what to drive. We chose to take our '72 Plymouth Satellite, which was a junkyard rescue. It had been around just as long as she had. We loaded our almost one-year-old daughter and our friend Drew into the car and cannonballed to Reno. We stayed in a hotel room, which cost almost $100, was very difficult to find, and rewarded us with about 2 hours of sleep. From there, we drove south to some strange little dot on the map in California called, I believe, North San Juan. It's full of hippies just sitting around in circles doing nothing at all. We picked up Sadie's friend Tori and continued over the Sierra Nevada mountains to Reno. There, we met Sadie's brother and his husband at the Archwedding Chapel of Reno, and after some brief arrangements and walking down the aisle to Hold On by Tom Waits, Sadie continued to make the poor decision to marry me. Already on this trip, the Satellite had presented us with small but ignorable issues such as the idler arm almost falling off the car, necessitating a repair in Portland. But on the way to the hotel that night, the driver's side motor mount went ahead and deleted itself, unhooked the power brake vacuum line, and we lost all brakes. The next morning, after a short repair session in the O'Reilly parking lot in Reno, we continued on to the next spot, back to North San Juan. Our expectation was some post-wedding camping and relaxation. The camp spot, however, proved to be down a ravine and a crazy horse track of a road down which the Satellite barely snaked successfully. There were humongous ruts in the middle of the road, washouts, and all sorts of other things which this overloaded '70s car had to navigate through. But it did just fine. When we got to the bottom of the ravine, the river spot, we parked the car and went down to have some fun in the water. I make it a habit to never be prepared on camping trips. I played in the river in my underwear. After some river fun, we decided to head back and scare up some dinner. I was carrying my daughter on my shoulders, climbing up this hill. We rounded a corner to cross the rickety old bridge across the river and saw a terrifying sight. The front of our Satellite was on fire. "Car's on fire," I said. I ran across this seemingly rickety two-track bridge with my daughter on my shoulders. I was out of breath and about ready to collapse and die right there. But I got across it, rounded the corner, and what do I see but a little fire on the ground in front of the Satellite. A gentleman is roasting hot dogs. I couldn't put into words the hatred and fury I felt for this gentleman. The thought of being stuck at the bottom of this crazy 10-mile ravine with my family, including my not-even-year-old daughter, far, far from home or any assistance we may have, it was a little upsetting. For the rest of the night, my heart rate never did come down. It wasn't exactly relaxation. The good news was the car was not, indeed, on fire, and I was rewarded for my suffering with a hot dog or two. We also later learned that the drive out the other side of the canyon was much, much easier, despite what we had been told. So all in all, our wedding trip went pretty well. My only regrets are not being able to drive my Challenger I had at the time, and not getting married by Fat Elvis. Thanks for watching.